Hello, and thank you for stopping, looking, and listening in our divine appointment here today on another episode of Angels Talk. That's right here, right now, calling you right from the #1 access station in the nation. I'm Sandra, and I am so excited in our soul relationship to be here today, to bring to you today gifts. That's right, gifts, and around the word angels. Today I have in the seen and unseen angels. And as you can see by the set design, we have a guest who is fully present here, and he's going to be talking with us via phone patch from, where are you calling from, Dave?
I'm in Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky. Is this so creative of God to unfold our coming together this way? Ladies and gentlemen, meet the one, the only Dave Lehrman, and John, your partner. What's his last name?
Tard Johnson.
There you go. I am so glad that everyone assists me, because if I had to remember all of this information, I would be lost. Dave, welcome to the #1 access station here in the nation.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for showing up in this fashion. Tell everyone, how did we first meet?
I believe we first met because of a mutual friend, Charlie Willer.
Yeah.
Charlie Angel Willer.
An angel.
Who I've known Charlie since the 7th grade. And we went to junior high school together. Back then it was junior high. And then we lost touch in high school, and I started running into him in town when we did things where I was a musician, and he, as well as being a musician, was an entertainer, as you know. And
he wore many halos, didn't he, Dave?
He sure did, and I think the time I ran into him that was most important was we were both doing a benefit show for some inner city children, and he was running sound, and I had done some of the arrangements.
Yes, and did you know that he's on the first 26 seconds of the opening, and that the theme music called us forth here today? It plays the Fantasy in F minor. It plays as the Angels at God Central Station theme music.
Well, Charlie definitely was an angel, and at the time we kind of rekindled our friendship. He came to learn that my wife was terminal with breast cancer. And eventually, as you know, Charlie had the same problems, and we started sharing emails on diet, and Charlie was a wealth of information.
Yes, he was. That's how we met. Again, that's how we were reacquainted.
Yeah. And that's how Charlie and I really developed a friendship. And one of the things he did was he was a great clown. Yeah. I mean, now, not like I'm a clown, but I mean a real clown. And he always offered to come drive 2 hours south and perform at my daughter's birthday party. Well, finally, for her 7th birthday, this would have been 3 years ago, last October, I had him come down, and I'm going to tell you, you talk about 15 mesmerized little seven-year-old girls. He was fabulous. And the thing was, they had done an hour in a gymnasium play area, and I thought, oh, I've overdone it.
Well, Charlie is truly, pardon me, an angel and a legend of all time. And his music will play on and on and on throughout each and every episode that he and Bob Savage were so gracious to gift the network here today. And without Charlie, our circle of life would not be complete, would not have come this far.
Well, and when you did you were very instrumental, I know, in putting together the fundraiser to help Charlie, and
not without you, though, Dave.
You're not going to give yourself credit for all that.
Well, I could not have done it alone. Charlie and I were very much about the visions of unity, one world, one dream, in the spirit of unity. And that's how we came together, Dave. That's how it does happen. It doesn't happen alone.
But I know, I was at that, and there was somebody who did an awful lot of legwork, because I know how big of a production that was and how much. But anyway, we won't go there.
Okay.
I don't want to embarrass you. But
Thank you.
That's where you and I met, if you remember, because we had sent emails back and forth and talked, and then I finally met you, was it August of 2003?
Yes, when they first, yes, that's when it was. And then we met after that. We had some lunch and we talked about angels. Talk a little bit about angels for us today, Dave.
Well, to me, since my wife passed away, I really feel the presence of angels constantly. And about 6 months after after my wife's funeral, which was 3 years ago, I started writing a novel. And as I started writing this novel, so many things in my life were happening that were unexplainable by normal terms that I started incorporating some of the believable ones anyway into the book.
Mm-hmm.
This CD came about because John and I met about 3 years ago, right about around this time when Charlie and I are getting back together, and my wife's going through this, and I'm going, thinking about the future, and it just kind of all came together that after I finished the book, still in search of a publisher, of course, but this CD idea came together, and that just has happened, was released in November of 2004.
Well, truly, I am honored to be in your presence, and I feel like you're above divine order. You and your friends with this work is above divine order, and I want to help you as much as I can to share this good news. And we brought that today, Dave. It's right here on the set. Even though you're not here, it's here. And if you don't mind, creator, I'm going to share this with everybody, creator of the Stars of Night, I see it as on top of the world, Dave. I see it as like it's already on top of the world, and I support you 150%. And if you don't mind, we're going to share clips of that today. Is that okay?
Sure.
Well, and while they're getting that ready, I just want to say one more thing that, isn't it cool? Yes, I just wanted to say again from the creator of the Stars of Night, Dave, I am so proud of you in your discovery to recover and uncover God in this music.
But now, do you have a photo or picture of the CD cover?
Yes, I do, and that is, if I understand, that's the Eye of God?
That's the name it's been given. I believe NASA was responsible for giving it that name, and that was another coincidence. We were looking for something, when we had the music done, we were trying to think of something for the CD cover.
Yes.
And we had started with something, a forest, nature, because we wanted the beauty of God to be on the cover. Mm-hmm. And Johnson, then we came to the title, Creator of the Stars of Night, and decided to use that as the title track. Mm-hmm. Well, then we started looking outside of Earth, and we had something selected that was very nice, a constellation. But John, just out of by happenstance, right at that time we were making the final decision. Actually, we had already made the final decision on another photo. His brother-in-law emailed him this picture of this Helix Nebula, which was photographed in this particular instance by the Hubble telescope.
I see
and
that.
Said, you've got to see this. This is amazing. If you look at it, it looks like an eye.
It does. And you know what, Dave? When you sent this to me, there are no coincidences. first of all, from my point of view, there are no coincidences. When you sent this to me that very same day, I got other correspondence from somebody who was sharing the beauty of this particular photo. Is that incredible?
Well, I wouldn't have believed things like this happened until they started happening to me, and it's been, it's unexplainable. But this photo, it just was perfect.
Yes, I agree, and I think that unexplained mystery is all here for a good reason, and that's what brought us together, Dave.
Oh, absolutely. There's a reason why we're doing this, and there's a reason why the CD happened, and to give you we talked about, John and I talked about this project about a year and a half ago, and about a year before we actually did the CD, we got together and put together a list of things we would want to play. We had 10 or 12, and, well, then the project just got lost in the shuffle. I moved down to Louisville, and he also changed jobs and was very busy in his new responsibilities as a music director at a different church. And last summer, I was driving down the highway, and I just got this idea. Let's do the CD. Let's just go do it.
A divine idea, Dave?
I said, let's just go do it. And I had some studio time coming to me from a studio in Indianapolis, and I said, I'm going to use it on this. I'm not going to try to sell a pop song or something. I'm going to go and record this CD. And we went in without rehearsal, actually, and recorded it.
So you're saying out of all of the 15 takes on here, including one that I have to share, that's going to be a surprise, with a reverend, was done all in one time?
We did, let's see, we did all but 5 in one session, and then we came back and added 5 more to round it. We just felt like it needed some more things we didn't get done the first rehearsal, or the first takes. But Father Justin Martin, who performed the Lord's Prayer.
Oh, you gave it away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It was supposed to be a surprise.
It's okay to give
Well, it'll be a
away.
surprise when the viewers are able to listen to it or hear it. It's very unique.
And you were saying before that, I interrupted you.
But that's okay. I kind of, it will make more sense to know why he was there, I suppose. But he came in to do one of the songs on the CD, and one of the hymns, and I told him, and that was another idea. After we had the session scheduled, I thought this would be so neat if he did it. And I called and asked him if he'd do it, and he said he would. And I said, well, we're going to be in there from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Whenever you get there is fine. We'll stop and do your piece. And, of course, he was there at 6:01 and stayed the whole 3 hours.
Oh, my.
And when I say he blessed every song, there's some things on here that I've played that I've never played before. Not technically played, but just the way they happened and intertwined with what John did. And
see, that's what I think the word coincidence means. I think it means blessing. I think because I have been blessed by you. I have been blessed by your presence, by your work, by your divine gifts to be here today, and now to assist me on this show and to share through your recovery and share uncovering God. In fact, the next song that we're going to play, it's what is it, number 9? Is it "O Queen of Heaven"? I wrote it down. Yes. I have a little cheat sheet in front of me.
Can I set it up a minute?
Yeah.
"O Queen of Heaven" is probably the one selection on well, it's definitely the one thing on the CD that we probably took the most liberty with. And I can remember we did record this on the first session, and I can remember Father saying at the end, I've never heard "O Queen of Heaven" like this before, because we definitely took just a very pretty melody and kind of went with it. And anyone that knows it, that knows this beautiful hymn, it's actually a plain chant, will understand that John's taking tremendous liberties with the harmonies, and it all works.
Chants are nice to remember. And if our angels assistants out there will please. Oh, Dave. You know, I think Christmas is every day of the year.
Well, it can be.
That song was so romantic, so melodic. How can Christmas not be born in us every day? How can we keep that away from us?
I like that.
Excuse
me. I like that particular selection because it is about Mary, the Queen of Heaven, and I think she's very much overlooked when we look at her son and what how he's changed my life. I know that for God to have chosen this woman to be the mother of God, he had to. Why would he have not picked the most perfect female living at the time?
Well,
and,
so much.
It's a tribute to Mary, is what it is.
Thank you for sharing that, because you know that you are a very big part of I'm going to call a halo movement about Mary, and more and more there's going to be more information coming out about the origins of Mary. So I believe, I'm going to say thank you for being in divine order with it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're in divine order. God told me. Isn't that fun? And so you have other things on the creator of the Stars of Night CD, and we have only about 10 minutes, so we're going to have to be brief with it, but you have some up-tempo music. What about Now the Green Blade Raises? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Now the Green Blade is a French carol. It's very much, it primarily features John on piano, and then I come in and play a little flute in there. There's only 2 selections I play flute on, and this is one. And we put this in to change it up. The entire CD is very reflective, as you've heard on the first 2 selections, but it needs a little bit of a break once in a while, and this is one of them.
Well, I'll tell you something. God is using all of you. You are multi-talented to come together and play this. I can't wait to hear it. If our angel assistants out there will please cue us up next, we greatly appreciate it. We're a team, aren't we? Dave, can you still hear me? Dave,
Yes.
Wait till you see the finished episode of this show. I truly feel like a child of God, sitting in the midst of all the stars that are out at night. Here with you today, Dave Lehrman.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
Even though you're in the unseen,
we need
here.
you down in Louisville.
Yeah, we'll have to make arrangements to air this show down there somewhere. What do you think about that?
Do that. We can do that.
Yeah. John does an extraordinary job throughout the creator of the Stars of Night.
Well, John's got a very distinguished background. Among other things, he was the assistant organist of the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, D.C. He's been music director. He's now, I think, on his 3rd church. He keeps getting stolen by another church. And he's now in...
Kidnapped, Dave? Is kidnapped or stolen?
Well, way, I should say. But when he was at St. Luke Church in Indianapolis is when we met, and I answered an ad in the bulletin to, would you be interested in playing with the contemporary ensemble on Sundays? And that's where we met. And he used to throw these things out right before we'd start a Mass. He'd say, let's do a prelude, and he put out Creator of the Stars of Night, and I'd never seen it before, and we just kind of wing it.
On a wing and a prayer. That's what our director says.
Yeah, well...
Norm, our director today, he lives by that, on a wing and a prayer.
Well, it was funny when I asked you what we were going to talk about. You said, let's not talk about it too much or we'll ruin it.
Yeah?
On today's show.
Yeah.
John would say the same thing. Before we got ready to go in the studio, I said, do you want to rehearse it? He goes, no, if we rehearse it, we'll just mess it up.
You know what I call that, Dave? I say that this show is divinely scripted through the vision that speaks so clearly through my lips. That's the only explanation I can give for this show that God has gifted me to share with you and with everybody in the entire world.
Well, and to relate it to this project, what we did, when I told you we did this in essentially 2 short recording sessions, we did improvisations. Most of them are first takes, some of them are a second version. We just picked the best one and went with it, and we had a sound guru, Chris Lieber, that came in and helped us make it into a CD and make it sound like something people would want to buy and listen to, and it just happened. And having Father bless every song was not bad either.
Well, and you know what, to me, Dave, the realization that there is no separation between spirit and service to mankind. I mean, it goes hand in hand. There's a balance here. There's no separation. Because
oh, there is. And without going into my history, I was out of the church for 22 years, completely. Mm-hmm. And it has changed my life the past 5 years to have been involved in the church. And the one thing I add to it is I bring some musical ability into it. If I didn't do that, I'd be on the landscape committee or something.
That's fun. Well, this is also great meditation music. I live by prayer and meditation. In fact, suggestive rather than explanatory on how Angels at God Central Station unfolded. And Dave, I'm going to have you back because we're almost up here. And I have a gift for you, Dave.
Okay.
Can you imagine this? It's green. It has a purple package. It has a yellow bow. And I'm holding it in my hand, and I'm going to send it to you. It's very popular, and it's something that you can grow and change with. And when you're writing and sharing more of your divine gifts, whether it's in book or song or with whomever, Dave, I want you to remember Angels at God Central Station because we totally and fully support you, and it's on its way to you as we speak. And we're next and last but not least, I would love to share with you Reverend Justin with our Lord's Prayer, and that's coming up here very shortly, Dave, like within 2 minutes. So I have one last question for you, Dave.
Sure.
If Angels at God Central Station can continue to support you, what would that be?
Oh, Sandra, your group is doing such wonderful things, witnessed by the many good things you've done in the past, and I know what you have your sleeves rolled up and you're ready to go early every morning. Just keep helping the people you're helping. That's all. That's the best we can all do.
That is.
Just make your little corner of the planet as nice as it can be, and I think you'll be rewarded for that. And I just strive to every day be a little bit better person than I was the day before. And believe me, I've got a long way to go.
You're an angel, Dave. You're an angel with all kinds of service to humanity. And I love you. You mean the world to me. And now we're going to end the show. And I'm going to do that by saying thank you all for stopping, looking, and listening in our divine appointment here today. And by ending the show, we're going to bring in Reverend Dustin with our Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Deliver us, Lord, from every evil, and grant us peace in our day. In your mercy, keep us free from sin, and protect us from all anxiety, as we wait in joyful hope for the coming of our Savior, Jesus Christ. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever.
Oh, you're gone. Angels show up, they do their work, and they're gone.
Okay, you clear? You can still talk to them if you want.
Dave. Dave.
Yes.
The ending brought tears to my eyes. You are an angel. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Wow. That was beautiful, Norm. Thank you. You did an awesome job.
The other camera operator next time. Still see as far as we have a need.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. Thank you, dear. You know what? I didn't realize it when I took that. If I would have kept this on here, it would have been okay. But then you know. My mistake. Are you off, Dave?
I'm here.
Okay. It's a wrap. You're all done. I'll be in touch. Dave? Dave.